Unacademy. Let's crack it.
So, when we talk about law, tell me, what do you understand by recusal and conflict of interest?
Right, sir. I think they are interrelated concepts. I would first like to answer what a conflict of interest is. In the terms of law, wherever any party, be it in quasi-judicial sphere or in the judicial sphere, who has the ability to determine the rights and liabilities of the party or determine the obligation of any dispute that has come before them, have any sort of interest in the outcome or have any prior relationship to the parties themselves. That I would define as conflict of interest, sir. And recusal is the voluntarily backing out of such judicial authority because of any existing conflict of interest.
Okay. What are the constitutional provisions for state bifurcation? Which articles of the Constitution talks about states bifurcation or maybe reorganization of the states?
Sir, I think Article 3 of the Constitution talks about it.
Correct. 2, 3 and 4. All right. Which article talks about animal rights in the Constitution?
Sir, animal rights are protected under the directive principles of state policy, wherein I can't name the numbers,
Okay,
I
no
can't
problem.
recall it.
Where do you think prohibition word occurs in the Constitution? At which places?
So,
Prohibition. It occurs at a number of places. Can you, and all in different contexts. Can you name some of them?
So, one context that comes to mind is prohibition of consumption of alcohol in the DPSPs.
Correct.
Uh,
Another very important remedy is there.
So perhaps you can give me a hint.
The writ.
Right, one of the 5 writs is
Correct,
prohibition
correct.
under Article 32.
Yeah, and there is one
226.
more place where prohibition is also there. But anyway,
Okay, sir.
all right. Now, house captain. So tell me, what are the requirements or attributes of a captain or leader? Because you would be leading a team of officers working under you. Even if you are a collector or a director or a secretary, what are the essential requirements of a leader?
Sir, I think one of the most important requirements of a leader is honesty. They have to be honest with respect to their own capabilities. They have to be honest with respect to assessing the capabilities of the people who work under them, which makes them accountable, which makes them a better leader in terms of resource allocation, allocation of duties, and delegation of tasks. In addition to that, sir, I think having the ability to listen to your subordinates, so people who are working under you, is also very important, which I would say is your receptivity to feedback, because that allows you to create coordination and cohesion in the unit that you're working with.
What about other things like integrity?
Sir, integrity is also essential because it isn't merely accountability to a third party, but it is accountability to yourself with respect to the aims and goals that you've set for yourself and your team. And it allows for a sort of recollection of your tasks and gives you...
What about efficiency and effectiveness?
Sir, efficiency
One
and...
can be very, very honest
Yes.
and not perform anything.
Right,
It does
sir.
not produce a result.
No,
So
sir, I
honesty
agree.
and-
Efficiency and effectiveness are equally important.
All right. Now, do you think a student's union necessary in a case of a college or a university? Don't you think that students' union, because students' union are the first step towards politics, and the students come to the college and university to study. Do you think a union should be allowed to be formed in the colleges?
Sir, I do think unions should be allowed to be formed in the colleges because one of the most essential things that a union is able to achieve is to effectively communicate with the administration in order to coherently place the requirements of the student body in front of the administration. Sir, I think they form a very important link between the people who have the ability to make a change in the student environment and the requirements of the students themselves. So I think unions are essential. However, they must function within the parameters of the student, the university itself. It is important to recognize that the main purpose of an educational institute is to impart education, and any activity that can inhibit that must be discouraged, sir.
Okay. Talking about the Hindustani classical music,
Yes,
some of the ragas have been sort of we have derived them from southern part of the country
Yes,
into
sir.
the northern part. Can you name one or two such ragas which have come from the southern India?
Sir, Rag Bhairavi is a rag that is inspired from Carnatic music as well. That is derived from the Thaat, Bhairav Thaat itself, which also has similarities with Carnatic music. Sir, apart from that, I can't recall.
Charukeshi?
Sir, Charukeshi is another
Also
such
another?
rag,
Okay.
right, sir.
What is the time at which Bhairav Rag is generally, sung or practiced?
Sir, I think it's sung in a time called the Purvang, which is early morning or late at night. It's a division of time between 4 a.m. and to early morning, sir.
Which rag do you find to be most melodious amongst the Hindustani rags?
Sir, my favorite is Rag Mia Malhar.
Mia Malhar.
That is derived from Kafi Thaat, sir.
Okay. Any particular Bollywood song which is based on the Mia Ki Malhar?
Sir, Bolere Papiha.
Okay.
It's based on Mia Malhar Thaat.
One of the ghazal singers was very fond of Mia Ki Malhar
Sir,
in Pakistan. In his ghazals, you could hear
sir, I can't recall him. So
Mehdi
sorry.
Hassan. He was very
Mehdi
fond of
Hassan,
Mia
right,
Ki
sir.
Malhar.
Yeah, of course.